Friends, I'm Manoj. Welcome back to SAP SD by Manoj Tommy. In today's session, we'll talk about invoice correction request. So, friends, let's try to understand what is invoice correction request. When business will go for invoice correction request. So, invoice correction request we use if end user done any mistake in previous invoice. The mistake can be overcharged or undercharged. Okay. So by using invoice correction request, we can either deduct the amount from the customer outstanding or we add to the customer outstanding. If customer is overcharged, then we have to deduct the amount from the customer outstanding. We have to refund the amount to customer. If customer is overcharged, then business means company will refund the amount to customer. If customer is undercharged, then company will add outstanding to the add the amount to the customer outstanding. Okay. So in next slide, we'll discuss about the real time example so that we'll get more clarification on this invoice correction request. So let's see in which scenario we have to go for invoice correction request. First is price difference in previous invoice, then quantity difference in previous invoice. So first scenario, we have to discuss about pricing difference. But first, before that, we have to understand what is the invoice correction request process. First, we have to understand the process, then we'll go to the scenario. In invoice correction request, first step, end user will create invoice correction request. This is sales order. Okay. So user will create invoice correction request with reference to previous invoice. With reference to previous invoice. Then user will create credit memo invoice. Then business will refund the amount to the customer. If it is overcharged, if it is undercharged, then business will charge the amount to the customer. Customer will make the payment to the company. If it is undercharged, then customer will make the payment to the company. If it is overcharged, then company will make the payment to the customer. Company will refund the amount to the customer. Then before going to discuss the scenario, first step we have to create our own sales document type. So standard sales document type for invoice correction request is RK. Standard sales document type for invoice correction request is RK. We have to create our own sales document type. We have to copy from RK and we have to create our own sales document type for invoice correction request, that is YRK. So first step, we have to create our own sales document type. So let's create the sales document type. So you know what is the transaction code to create sales document type. Go to VOV8, go to position, search standard sales document type RK, select RK, then click on copy as, then we'll create YRK, enter, click on yes, then save it. Continue. Again click on continue. Now we have created our sales document type. So before going to execute or discuss invoice correction request in details, few changes we have to do in pricing. So as a beginner, we do not have enough knowledge on pricing part. So few things we have to change. So just make a note. We have to check pricing procedure determination. So we have to check pricing procedure determination So transaction code for pricing procedure determination is OVKK. Go to position, enter your sales organization, distribution channel, division, document pricing procedure as A, customer pricing procedure as 1. So here friends, please assign standard pricing procedure as RVAA01 and condition standard base type condition type is PR00. Pricing procedure, then condition type. Save it. Then we have to maintain the condition record. So go to VK11, VK11 condition type PR00. Enter. You can select material combination. Enter your sales organization distribution channel and material code. Give your material code. Then price, I'll give 1500. Then enter your currency INR, Indian rupee. Enter, then save. Then process is sales order, invoice correction request. Invoice correction request will be created with reference to previous invoice. Then credit memo invoice. So this is the process. Okay, so there is no physical movements of goods. Here we will not do the delivery. We will not deliver the goods from plant location to customer location. Or here we will not take any goods as return from customer location to plant location. There is no physical movements of goods. Just we are rectifying the previous invoice. What user has done some mistake. Either it may be overcharged or undercharged. So let's see what is next. So first I'll show you the price difference. Okay, so in price difference I'll show you the overcharged scenario. So this is our material for Manoj Tony is our material which we have used for invoice correction request. Then 1500 is our billed amount. In previous invoice we have charged 1500 rupees from the customer. That is billed amount. But if you talk about the actual amount should be 1350 rupees. So here by mistakenly we have charged 1500, but we supposed to charge 1350 rupees. So friend, we have overcharged 150 rupees from the customer. That 150 rupees we have to refund it to the customer by using invoice correction request. So here our we have to create invoice correction request. Standard sales document type is RK, but here we have created YRK as our sales document type for invoice correction request. Always invoice correction request will be created with reference to invoice. So friends, this is the previous invoice. This is previous invoice. So you have to check this previous invoice. Go to VF02. Go to VF02, and this is invoice number 91000635. Enter. In this invoice, we have charged 1500 rupees, but we supposed to charge 1350 rupees. So here 50 rupees is overcharged. 150 rupees is overcharged. We have to refund 150 rupees. So we have to create invoice correction request. Okay. So let's copy this invoice number. Transaction code to create invoice correction request is VA01 YRK. Enter. Invoice correction request will be created with reference to previous invoice. So enter the previous invoice number. Then click on copy. Then friends, each line item from invoice will be copied as two line item in invoice correction request. Here you can see two line item. So let's understand what are the two line items. So friends, first entry is credit entry. First entry is credit entry. Second one is debit entry. 1,500 credit, 1,500 minus 1,500 debit. So debit plus credit plus debit equal to 0. This is plus 1,500. This is minus 1,500. So plus minus net value is 0. So you can see first line. First line is credit entry. Credit entry is grayed out. We cannot change the credit entry. We cannot change credit entry. This is grayed out. We cannot change credit entry. We can change the debit entry. We can change debit entry. So here 1,500 is the amount which we have charged in previous invoice, but we supposed to charge 1,350 rupees. So what we have to do here, double click on line item, second line item, debit entry. Then go to condition, click on condition, then change this amount. This is billed amount, and here you have to keep actual amount. Actual amount should be 1,350 rupees minus. So friends, here don't forget to put minus symbol. Put minus, then press enter, then go back. Here you can see the difference amount 150 rupees. So actual invoice amount, sorry, billed amount in previous invoice 1,500 and actual invoice amount 1,350 rupees. If we'll deduct 1,350 rupees from previous invoice, then this is the amount, which amount we have to refund to the customer. Okay, so this amount we have to refund it to the customer. 150 rupees, difference amount which will refund it to the customer. So friends, go to sales tab, then click on give the order region. Order region would be price discrepancy, price was too high, then save it. Save it. Now no delivery, just create invoice VF01. So here system will block for creating invoice. Enter. Now it is no billing document were generated. See the log. Click on edit. Go to log. Here this is order number. This order the document is blocked for the billing. So go to change mode of invoice correction request sales order EA02. Enter the invoice correction request number. Then friend here you have to remove. So whenever we are doing any transaction with reference to invoice, either credit memo, debit memo, invoice correction request, either we will refund the amount to the customer or we will charge from the customer. So whenever we will go for the refund process or any charge process from the customer, one authorized person will cross check whether this process is okay or not, whether we are refunding this amount, whether it is correct or not. They will cross check the previous invoice whether that invoice was incorrect or not. So everything will be cross checked by one authorized person. If everything is fine, then that authorized person will remove this billing block and save it. Thereafter we can create invoice, credit memo invoice. So here you can see invoice is G2 credit memo. So this credit memo, this is positive amount. If this net value is positive, then customer account will be credited. Customer account will be credited. Save this. After saving this document, in backend system will generate accounting entries. So if you go to VF02, click on accounting. So first one is customer account. You can see This is customer account 100346. This is customer, and customer name is Manoj Tony. So if you go to posting key 11, 11 would be credit entry. Credit means we have to refund, means business will refund 150 rupees to the customer. Hence 11 should be C. C stand for credit. Credit one. C stand for credit. C stand for credit one. And here in this case, either we can go for credit memo request or we can do it through invoice correction request. In credit memo request also, you can do this process, we can refund 150 rupees. So based on client requirement, whether we have to go for credit memo or invoice correction request to refund the amount, that will be decided by our client. Okay, so that will be depends upon our client requirement, whether we have to achieve it through credit memo or invoice correction request. So that can be achieved through both the process, either invoice correction request or credit memo process. I hope you understood this. So in sales order invoice correction request, we have to remove billing block or else we cannot create invoice. Then second step, we have to give the order region. We have to give the order region. Okay. Then here invoice amount is positive. If you go to invoice amount, this is positive. Positive means customer account will be credited. Here no negative sign is there. So here net value will be positive. Next scenario. Oh, okay. So now if you talk about the accounting entries, customer account will be company account will be debited and customer account will be credited. Customer account will be credited. Here company will make the payment to employee, that is 150 rupees. So company account will be debited and customer account will be credited. Then next scenario, customer is undercharged. So we'll take the metal code as monotony. So here customer actually billed amount is 1500 rupees and your actual amount would be 1700. So here customer is undercharged. We supposed to charge 1700 rupees, but actually in invoice billed amount they have charged 1500. So here customer is undercharged 200 rupees undercharged. So company will charge 200 rupees from the customer by using invoice correction request. So here make a note. Here we can go for debit memo request also. Either invoice correction request or debit memo. So both can be worked. Okay. Then we have to create sales order RK, that is YRK, with reference to invoice. So we'll take this invoice copy. Invoice number is 9100654. So create sales order BA01, enter. Then here previous invoice number is 9100654. 9100654. 9100654. Okay. So click on copy. Then we have to double click debit entry. Second one is debit entry. First one is credit entry. So double click on debit entry. Then click on condition. This is billed amount. Here you have to enter actual amount. Actual amount is 1700. Don't forget to put the negative symbol, negative sign. Okay. Then press enter. Then go back. Now here 200, customer will make the payment of 200 rupees. So here you can see amount is negative. This is negative. So amount is negative. Amount is negative. Okay. So if you're negative, then what will happen? I'll show you in invoice accounting entries. So first step, remove billing block. Then go to sales document, give the order region, where customer is undercharged. Your customer is undercharged. So price discrepancy, price was too low. Enter, then save it. Then create invoice PF01. Enter. So friends, please make a note. If this net value is negative, then account entry will be reversed. So there is no changes in procedure. Billing type will be credit memo only, not debit memo here. It will be credit memo only. But if this net value is negative, then accounting entry will be reversed. Here customer account will be debited. In first scenario, in overcharged scenario, customer account was credited, but in undercharged scenario, customer account will be debited if this net value is negative. Save this. Then go to accounting entries VF02, click on accounting. Then this one is customer number 100346. 01 means it should be debit entry D. D. So customer has to pay 200 rupees to the company. Okay. So here also we have to remove billing block, give the order region, and here net value will be negative. If net value is negative, then customer account will be debited. Customer has to make the payment of another 200 to the company. So friends, here accounting entries would be what? Customer account will be debited and company account will be credited. Okay, here customer was undercharged. Okay, so next scenario we'll discuss about quantity difference scenario. Okay, quantity difference scenario. So friends, thank you very much for watching this session. Happy learning.